Hello YouTube, D-Man Biker here, and today I'm gonna talk a little bit more about this weird composite armor uh, setup from my last video. I did some more testing, and I found that 5mm plates tend to be about the best. This one has 10 of them, and this experiment can survive. It's also angled at 30 degrees, I'll add. It just survives. This test rig has 31 shots of 200 pen 100mm ammo, and I had a 100% block. None of the shells penetrated. So anyway, I decided to take things to the next level, and I actually created a vehicle using this technology. This took a little bit longer than the average tanks because there's some issues here. So here it is. This is I just called it the MBTNT for new technology. So this is what we got here. And notice there's a little hole, whatever. Basically what you got here is you have primarily made out of flat plates, 100mm in a 100mm auto loader in an oscillating turret. Though this easily could be adapted and not use the oscillating turret, I just decided to use the auto-loading cannon because it's more futuristic looking. Frontal armor consists of a 20mm max ductility plate that covers up 9 more. I don't know if you can quite see that. Let's see here. Let's cover up, take off some of this armor on the side here. 20mm plate, just in case someone wants to spam a machine gun at this, it'll bounce off, covering up 9 more 5mm plates all the way across here on the front. Then side armor consists of 2 5mm masking 2mm plates with high ductility on the side skirts, and then inside the tank we actually have 5 layers of 5mm armor. It's hard to visualize exactly what's going on here. Up at the front we have 100mm plates just here because it helps in case someone fires like this. We have a higher chance of deflecting the shell. The one plate's missing on this side, so I technically should be over here. So a lot of this frontal area is 20mm. We have actual 20mm frontal track protection. Nothing's really new up here. It's 20mm. The glacis is actually angled at 80 degrees. So this is a 10 degree slope. It's only 50mm, but 10 degrees essentially compounds this angle 10 times. So this is more like 500mm of effective armor. Front of the turret also has 10 layers of flat plates at 30 degrees, just like the lower plate, with a 20mm masking plate. So this should have roughly the same effectiveness as the lower plate. However, these are smaller plates, so it has lower ductility, which means it will probably fail faster, but it doesn't really matter here. The rear armor, weakest armor on the tank, also one of the heaviest plates, is 20mm, and the top armor is like 10 to 20mm. The only thing I tested on this tank was this plate here. I tested it against my MBT6 firing a 120mm AP with 250mm of penetration. Do keep in mind this is a 20mm plate masking 5mm plates. So what's 9 times 5? That's 45mm plus 20 is 65mm at 30 degrees. So the actual compounded just raw armor is roughly 120, and these shells had 250 penetration. The MBT6 ran out of ammunition before actually penetrating this. Yes, it fired 21 250 penetration AP shells directly into this. It was very close to scoring a penetration when it ran out of ammo, so it wasn't that ridiculous, but it was, I believe it was around here when it ran out of ammo. So this does get demolished here. This right here is an added piece to the bottom because just to protect the sides of the armor here. Because if I had put this, I have experimented, and then if I had put this this layered armor like on top of the actual base prop, the shells when they hit this, they don't just bounce off, they go into it. As far as I can tell, what happens is they go into this and then they follow it like this, like straight down. So if we remove more of this armor here, so I didn't really have to remove that armor, you will see that this doesn't really overlap the base prop at all, so there's no risk of that happening. It's fully sticking out in front of it. So if you were to put this on top of the base prop, the shells would just be deflected into the base prop. You wouldn't last very long. The same goes for the frontal armor here. They do not go over this piece. They have an extra piece of armor here at the front just to protect it. But I found that in shooting this plate down here protecting the bottom was destroyed very quickly, which doesn't matter that much. I did fire a shell into this armor here from the front, expecting it to cause grievous damage, but for whatever reason it really didn't. I don't know. I haven't tested the side armor on this tank, though it should be pretty formidable, I assume. I mean, look at this. The weakest spots are up here. There is no spaced armor. That's mainly because when you're parenting all this, you can't actually access certain areas. So just for ease of ease of parenting and armoring, I did not add armor here. I mean, it might as well just have a weak spot there. Who cares? If someone's gonna fire a shell in here, that's pretty crazy. But I probably will never actually fight anyone with this tank. It's more of a proof of concept. But yeah, from this angle you can definitely see just how many plates went into this thing. Like, let's respawn it really quick and show you just a little bit more impressive of a view of just what this thing is comprised of. So let's get our color tool and just make this a little bit fancy. Hopefully my audio isn't broken in this video because I'm not going to redo it. But I tested it and it seemed to be sounding okay. I sound like an idiot though if that is not the case, but whatever. Okay, so as you can see on our turret, there's our 10 thin blocks there. Insane armor effectiveness there. And like I said, this does not need to be an oscillating turret because there are some vulnerabilities down here. I mean, if someone shot the neck, it probably wouldn't hit anything. Maybe it would. This is because when you're in the tank, you can lean this forward to touch down here, so this isn't as big of a vulnerability as it looks. Anyway, so, but yeah, it would be really easy to just adapt this turret lower down. You don't need an oscillating turret to use this technology, but anyone who knows anything should be able to figure that out. Okay, so now let's keep just kind of uncovering the pieces of this tank here. Lots of props here, just everywhere. So ideally, I would have already had this set up before I made the video, but whatever. Okay, so as you can see, as we uncover more and more armor, this thing is just riddled with spaced armor plates. Insane amounts of them. All over it. Yeah. Like, look at that. That is cool. But yeah, this took a decent amount of time to do. They're basically just stacked. These frontal angles, I tried to get as close to a straight line up here as possible, but it wasn't quite perfect. I think the main vulnerability with this sort of armor is if someone like lodged a shot in like here and it skipped the armor plates. I don't know what the odds of that are happening actually are, but I don't know, I can see it happening. So yeah, I think that's probably the main risk. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. This thing is just strong. I don't think I mentioned this, but this tank weighs 32 tons, and it has perhaps the best armor, just shot for shot, all around of any tank that I have. And that's 32 tons with ammunition and everything. I'm missing one of my front road. Oh no, I'm not. See, it's a fast tank. Nice. See, that's me showing you the oscillation there. If you lean the turret forward, I made a video that kind of demonstrated this principle before. The neck is actually hidden, so it's no big deal. But the main reason I did the oscillating turret is because if you've seen my other tanks, I don't like not having a hole in the front of the turret unless it's an oscillating turret. So I would be tempted to have two separate sections, which would compromise the integrity of having this armor system. So I just decided to go with the autoloader and oscillating turret. Anyway, I'm pretty sure that's all that really needs to be said. I know I didn't really demonstrate me firing here, but the way this tank is designed, I think is a very good way to do it in case you were stuck because of the way that my test before looked. But yeah, if you stack your things like this, you can definitely make up a pretty decent glacis. But I mean, this is pretty crazy. Look at how far this sticks out forward, so I don't know. Anyway, have a good one.